Hello, Coach. Today we're going to be starting things off by looking at Group Policy Objects, or GPOs. First, we're going to be looking at where they're located. You can view GPOs from inside of Active Directory domain, users, and computers. Here we have our accounts for Active Directory users and computers, our domain controllers, and our users. You can also edit GPOs from a program called GPO Editor, which can be found by hitting Windows R for run and typing gpedit.msc, and here's the group policy editor. And here are some GPOs. One we could configure is the desktop wallpaper, which would allow us to force all users to use a certain wallpaper. That way they can't change it later on. Here are all the settings that come in the administrative templates for the user configurations GPO. There are quite a lot of them. This would be another good one to edit, that way end users can't go into Device Manager and change settings on devices. One other GPO that would be a good GPO to be aware of is the password policy, which is underneath of the computer configurations, Windows settings, security settings, and account policies. It's underneath the password policy. And these are different options for your password. This top one is how many days to keep or how many passwords to keep for a certain amount of time. That way a user can't reuse an old password. They have to have another password that's a different password. The maximum password age is how long you can go without having to change your password. And the minimum password age is how many days you have to go before you can change it. That way you can't go through and change your password a bunch of times to get past the password history number. That way users do have to keep changing their passwords. The minimum length is 7 characters. And the password requirements, the complexity requirements, are to have uppercase, lowercase, digits, special characters, and are at least 6 characters long. And you want to enable that. That way the passwords are not easy to break. Next, we're going to be looking at what operation masters are and where they're located. To start, we'll be looking at where they're located. So first you click Tools, and then you click on Active Directory Users and Computers. Then you right-click on your domain name, and operation masters are right here. There are a total of 3 operation masters. We have the RID, or Reference ID Master. We have the PCD, or Primary Domain Controller Master. And we have the Infrastructure Master. The Infrastructure Master maintains consistency of the users to groups mappings. The RID Master gives out numbers to domain controllers in order to sort them. There should only ever be one RID master per domain. The PCD emulator, or Primary Domain Controller Emulator, is used in mixed environments where Windows NT 4.0 domain controllers are still present. The next thing we're going to be taking a look at is how to move FSMA roles between 2 domain controllers. So the first thing we're going to type is net dom query FSMA. That way we can figure out which DC the FSMA roles are currently located. And they're currently located on DC1. So next we're going to type in move Active Directory server operation master role without the space dash identity, and we're going to type in the identity of the server we want to transfer to. So in this case, we're going to transfer to the 150 DC2 server. And then dash operation master role, and now we're going to type in the operation master role we want to move. We could move just one of the operation master roles, or we could move all of them. For this example, I'm going to move all of them. Schema master, naming, domain naming master, PDC emulator, RID master, and the infrastructure master. And then press enter. Type A to say yes to all. And now we're going to type netdom query FSMA again to see if it transferred. And look at that, it's transferred successfully from the DC1 servers to the DC2 servers. Next, we're going to be taking a look at replication. So in order to replicate GPOs, we're first going to go to the Active Directory Sites and Services. We're going to click on Sites and expand that out, and we're going to expand our site here, and then Servers, DC1, NTDS settings, replication. You can replicate from here. This is how you can force replication between the two DCs. The last thing we'll be taking a look at today is setting up a time server. We are going to set up the connection so that we'll have constant time across all of the virtual machines in the domain. First, we have to go to a time server website to get our information for our time server setup. And you're going to want to go through these zones and select a time server that's closest to your physical location. So we're going to go down, find the United States in this list. And now that we're in the United States section of this list, we're going to find one in Michigan because the physical location is in Petoskey. So let's see if we can find one close to Petoskey. Alrighty. There's one in Michigan. Okay, looks like there's only one option for Michigan, so we'll pick out our Southfield, Michigan, and grab our information. And so we're going to grab the host name from here. We're going to take that to where we're going to be setting up our time server at. Next, to start setting up the time server, we're going to have to open PowerShell. So we're going to type w32tm/config/manual pure list : then we're going to put in our site for the time server, and then type /sync from flags and set that to manual /reliable. And we'll set that to yes, that way Windows knows it's a reliable connection. And /update tells the system to update right now. And we'll hit enter. And the command was completed successfully. And that completes the setup for an external time server. Thanks for coming.